Donald Payne, new Donald Payne Vocational School. Thank you, President. Again, a vision by Joe. The Sheriff's Patrol Office is on 115 Clifton Avenue in an well over 100-year-old building, antiquated, not set up, 2 floors, not the correct holding cells. Very difficult to do the job of a 21st century police department. Joe said, let's build a new facility, let's put it in this neighborhood across from the school, improve safety, give our sheriff's officers the tools that they need to continue doing the great job that they do. And that's why we're here today. So if you look at the building, as always, it's a beautiful design created by my man, Greg Comito, who is the artist of all artists, who designs buildings that are both efficient but also unbelievably pleasing to the eye. To tell us about it, our architect, Greg Comito.
Thanks, Phil. When we first went up to see the existing building on Clifton Avenue to see the operation, this building is old. It's a beautiful historic building, but no work has been done there in, it seems like 100 years. It's like a haunted house. It's drafty, the floors creak, there's officers writing reports, flickering lights, almost like candlelight. They have they do work in a converted, not even converted, an old horse and buggy stall on the first floor. I mean, it's so old. Sheriff, you're probably an undersheriff then. I hear. I was very young, but it's a long time. Anyway, it was, it's a lean and mean operation. It's going to be a lean and mean operation now, but it's the 21st century. And in our continuing effort to make Jody happy, which is like trying to keep a gorilla satisfied with Tic Tacs.
Comedian, tell us about the film.
This is my one shot.
Last job.
You always go last. Like Greg said the same thing every time.
Greg is so
Be a comedian. He's not paying you to be a comedian.
Thank you. Anyway, so about the building. It's lean and mean. We like to do a lot with a little. So even though it looks grand, we like to think we put on a great neighborhood face to it, commanding presence. It's only 7,700 square feet, and in that we have our patrol headquarters, of course. We have the detective bureau. We have our captain's offices. We have an office for the sheriff. We replace indoor storage for the motorcycles. There's a training room, a muster room, roll call. So we have all the ingredients in a somewhat compact, very efficient space. In this building, we like to have a strong neighborhood presence, a commanding presence. We want the logo loud and proud on the street. We think it's a strong beacon of safety for the neighborhood and also for the kids. High-tech materials. It's transparent. It's not your typical police sort of bunker. We use glass and metal and a lot of fun and state-of-the-art materials. So this is our building. We're happy to see you come up and we're looking forward to it. Phil?
Thank you, Greg.
No more jokes.
Thank you, Greg. But I want to mention Greg's team, Lori Scarbashi, who's here, does an unbelievable job on all our projects. Darryl Alvarez is here. But Greg comes with a great, talented team. So Greg designs the building. The Comito and Associates designs the building. They put the specs out. We go on the streets for a public bid. And a new company that we never worked with before was the lowest responsible bidder. We're excited because we get to make new friends and meet new people. But you're under pressure now because everyone here is going to want to hear that this building is going to be on time and under budget. I'd like to call up the president of APS Contracting, Steve Suruski.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here. My name is Steve. I'm president of APS Contracting. I'm also pleased to be here and pleased to be working for Essex County on this project. I'm committed to finish the project on time, try on budget.
No try.
I'll do it on budget. I'll do it on budget. Thank you all.
What did Yoda say in Star Wars? Don't try, just do. Don't try. Just do. None of this would be possible without the help of without the support and the vote and co-partners in this government of the Board of Chosen Freeholders. I'd like to call up the Freeholder President, Brittany Timberlake.
Hello, good afternoon. Will my colleagues please join me? Freeholder Patricia Sebo, Freeholder Rufus Johnson, Freeholder Len Luciano. Greg, while they're coming, I thought you were very funny. I enjoyed it. This is really truly going to be great for the neighborhood. It's going to have a serious police presence in the area and a presence that's integrated with the community, working together. And I'm sure you'll hear from our sheriff later on in the program to reiterate just that as well as more. But County Executive, congratulations. I know that this is something that you have visualized for a very long time, and now here we are as it begins to manifest. And we are proud to be supporters of yours on the Freeholder Board and to continue moving Essex County forward in only a way in which you can. I'd like to turn the microphone over to my colleague, Freeholder Rufus Johnson, who is this is his board. And also, of course, followed by any other freeholders who'd like to make remarks.
Well, as you know, this area is the gateway to coming into our governmental complex to downtown Newark. And it's very important that the gateway looks good coming in. And Joe, still talking about that borderline from East Orange and bringing it down to here, because you've got a beautiful specimen of a school across the street. And we want people to be able to have a smile on their face when they're coming down West Market Street and leading into the great city of Newark. I've been a West Ward resident for over 40 years now. And what I see in this, the vision I see in this is, I see businesses starting to boom in here. And along with the councilman, as you know, I'm working with Councilman Joseph McCollum, we do have a business improvement district going, thanks to the other municipal council members like Louis Quintana and them for voting with it. So we are going to improve this area, and Joe, keep the vision going. You're doing a great job, and I'll support anything that's going to support the people that live in this community. So thank you very much.
I'd like to thank the county executive for continuing to improve everything that we have here in Essex County. I can't believe how he always thinks of something new. And I applaud the Sheriff Armando Fontoura, who will have this wonderful new place. And I have to tell you that wherever there is an office, everything in the area improves. Armando Fontoura, the sheriff, has a small office at the South Mountain Reservation Complex right at the parking lot. Since that office opened, not one car has been stolen. Not one car has been injured. It's been a lot of years, and prior to that, people were afraid to park there. They commute, they get the bus to go into New York City, they were afraid to do it. That's gone. This office will bring a tremendous bonus to this neighborhood and all of Newark. So thank you, Joe DiVincenzo, and thank you, Armando Fontoura.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm just going to reiterate that the pillar of every community is education and public safety. When we look at this corner here, and I see the superintendent of our county schools in the back, I see our sheriff here, I know with these state-of-the-art facilities, we're going to great lengths here, County Executive, to show not just Essex County and the municipalities, but around the state that we care about state-of-the-art facilities for public safety and for student education. So I'm really proud to partner in that. Thank you for your vision.
Thank you, freeholders. I'd like to call up the chairman of the Democratic Party here, but our good friend, and whenever he's with us, he's going to say remarks because we love him. Leroy Jones.
You know, I was Deborah Collins. I should always be ready, right? Let me just say that I was enjoying Greg. I don't know why you rushed him off. He was pretty. I mean, he had that Harry Connick lookalike thing going on, but he had a little Jimmy Fallon thing going, and it was all working for me. But let me just say that today is a great day. When we can galvanize a community around public safety and education. And it's been said by the speakers before me that these two lovely edifices that will be rising in this community bridges that relationship between young people and those individuals that are trusted with securing and safeguarding our public. And that is our law enforcement officers. And when we are in an environment now, the law enforcement is oftentimes, under scrutiny and much maligned, and some bad apples have made, that, the order of the day across the country. But when we can come into communities like this, and the sheriff's office who has a stellar reputation, of providing, sound, law enforcement amongst all of our residents, that bridges that gap, and that helps. The relationship between community and law enforcement. And Frederica understands the value of that clearly, as many of us here do today. So I am here, just so proud to be a part of, this groundbreaking ceremony that, begins to build that bridge between our public safety arm in the county and what's most important, our community. Joe, that vision, has been expressed and acknowledged and exemplified today. And, I think the only thing that's missing is, the statue of Armando Fontoura. Should somehow be, but, as Greg mentioned, 100 years ago when he was an undersheriff, in that. But, that day will come, Armando, and, we will all be here to celebrate that unveiling. But for now, let's celebrate this lovely edifice. Thank you so much.
As the sheriff's campaign manager, Leroy, instead of the statue, we'll take the line for the next 21 years. Right? Right? So, they talked about the city of Newark. It wouldn't be possible without, the cooperation of the city of Newark. And I see Neil Mickard here. Neil helped us. I want to recognize Neil. Whenever we have an issue with permits or anything with the building department, Neil is right there with us as well. So I want to say thank you to Neil. And the city council has been invaluable. We have Councilman Luis Quintana here. Louis, I'd like you to wave and say hello. We have Councilman Aníbal Ramos Jr. I'd like him to wave and say hello. And to say a few words, he is the councilman in the West Ward with a new school, a new sheriff station. Things are happening in the West Ward. Councilman Joe McCullough.
Good afternoon, everyone. I don't often do a lot of kissing up, but Joe, I'm going to kiss up to you. Since I've been in office going on 3 years, I have to say you are the very best at what you do. I meet Joe at different events and he says, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Next thing I know, I'm coming to a ribbon cutting. On time, you're a lifesaver for me. The West Ward, we all know there's many issues with public safety in the West Ward, South Ward, we're all over the city. But this goes a long way in improving the West Ward, manning the corridors and bringing confidence to our public safety. And you're going to help me with Marilyn Gaynor, too. Because she only lives a couple of blocks from here. Believe me. You would get some of them phone calls now. I want to give a shout out. I see Director Ambrose over there, Chief Henry, Chief Ryan. You guys are doing a great job. My colleagues, where's Aníbal? My main man, Aníbal, Louis. So that, I learned a lot from these guys. And I just want to say, I came into office looking for public safety, education, and beautification. And Joe, you gave me 3
out of my main goals. So I thank you very much. Thank the county. See you in the future at the next event. I think we're at Vailsburg Park or something. I'll be at a park. We're always at a park with some new project. Listen, thank you. Love you.
Councilman McCollum, we're doing the new turf field at Westside Park too, so we're moving in the West Ward. Representing the mayor of the city of Newark, I'd like him to come up and say a few words. The director of public safety in the city of Newark, fire department, police department, and all around good looking guy, Anthony Ambrose.
Thank you. On behalf of the mayor and Chief Henry, first I want to also thank you, Joe, that you have a tremendous vision. I've worked for you. I worked for the sheriff after I left Newark the first time when Corey threw me out. But I have to say that this is a great thing for this community. For years we've had about 8 or 9 precincts when the sheriff first came on in the 1900s. It was reduced to 4 precincts. And when you talk about community policing, it's about bringing the police to the community. And over the years, you see Newark now, we have 5 precincts. And now Joe and the sheriff opening this precinct up, this headquarters in this area, in the middle of, this beautiful school in this area of Dickerson Street over to 11th, 12th Avenue is a major part for us. So I think that it's making a turn, law enforcement's making a turn, that we need more precincts. We need to bring these buildings to the community and not smaller types of facilities. So again, congratulations on behalf of the mayor. We're excited. And I was just asked, and we'll give a decision by Monday, if we want to have a substation in this building. I'll let them know on Monday. Thank you.
I'd just like to recognize here, thank you for coming, Tom Giblin, our Assemblyman. Tom, thank you. And he was a former Assemblyman, currently the Deputy Chief of Staff. I'd like him to come up and say a few words. Bill Payne. Bill, if you shout out to the Donald Payne School.
Good afternoon, everyone. I have the good fortune of having part of my responsibilities to kind of oversee some of these projects that are going on. I'm really happy that we hear the pronouncements about projects that are being planned for the future, etc. Very often you keep waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting in other kinds of jurisdictions. When we make an announcement that we're going to build, let's say, a school in the future, I remember the first meetings that we had across the way with the people in this community who came, and many raised questions as to whether or not it really was going to go through, and had all kinds of questions about it. Now some of the same people are here, and now we can see a demonstration across the street of that fantastic school that's being built that was promised in my brother's name. And I'm very, very happy to have the opportunity to be part of the team that monitors and oversees these projects. Now I'm sitting in with Steve and his guys that had a meeting this morning who are building this facility, and they can see when we say, when Joe says on time and under budget, and then everybody applauds, that means because we're not kidding, it's serious. This is your first job here, right?
Yes.
You want more? Igor was at the meeting today. Is Igor going to be the fellow?
Yes.
Yeah, he is. Okay, well, good. Well, we'll keep an eye on Igor too. But anyway, I really like to say that we certainly are uplifting this community. It's very, very encouraging to be able to come here after the several years that we have and see these changes that are coming about. It's absolutely incredible. And I know that my brother would be very, very happy to have this facility across the street from the school that's being prepared to have built for him. And I want to say that I'm pleased to have an opportunity to see to it that it works. And Steve, I'm just kidding. No, congratulations. And this is going to be an incredible facility. Thanks a lot.
I recognized him earlier, but we'd love for him to come up and say a few words. Our Assemblyman, Tom Giblin.
Good morning, County Executive Chief Vincenzo and Sheriff Fontoura and all of the other elected officials that were here this morning, everybody that's interested in Essex County and the cause of good government. Certainly that's what we're all about here today. Somebody asked me today, well, how do you get to Myrtle Avenue, New York? You sure it's not Myrtle Avenue, Irvington? No, it says there's a Myrtle Avenue, New York. And they said, well, how would you know that? I said, believe it or not, I was on that street many times over the years. I knew it was off of Orange Street by West Market. We used to have our Union Hall at 509 Orange Street when I was a kid, and I knew this neighborhood like the back of my hand. I can tell you right at the corner of Myrtle Avenue and Orange Street, it was a Chinese restaurant called Boy Bing. I could go down Orange Street and over Roseville Avenue, and I can tell you every single business. I did that about 2 or 3 years ago. We lost our good friend this week, Chester Brown, and I know Chester would have been here today for this celebration, but one day I was doing a class with Chester down at Westward Culture Center, so I said, I'll take a walk. So we took a walk from his headquarters there on Roseville Avenue. We went all the way up to where Orange Street meets East Orange, and we went back. I said, Chester, this was Bachholt's Diner here. This was Winton Jewelers here. And where he's looking at me like, what? How do you know? I said, because that's the way it was when we were a kid. You walked and you searched all of these places out, and it's so important in this neighborhood. This is really what you call a win-win-win. I mean, first of all, to the legacy of Donald Payne. One of the things I'm doing in the legislature is, working on the higher education committee. We're looking at the cost of higher education, and we're looking at the ability of kids when they get out of college to find a job. And we're trying to really develop more alternative programs. And, there's so many great careers for kids that graduate from the vocational school system, whether it be in the trades or other types of occupations that provide a decent salary, good benefits, and an opportunity to capture the American dream. And, you talk about a legacy to a man that devoted so much of his life to helping people. This couldn't be a better tribute to the late Congressman Donald Payne, and of course the sheriff, as we all know, he's been sheriff for quite a long period of time. But that's a testament to his respect that he enjoys among the voters, and he gets the job done as far as being the Essex County sheriff. He's been doing it well for over 25 years. And this issue of a police facility in this area, I remember, like I said, when I was younger, we used to have the 5th precinct, which was at the corner of Orange Street. There was precinct captains. One was a guy named Tom Critchley, who I remember being there. My father sent me down to see Captain Critchley, and then there was Eddie Duffy, I think his name was. There was another captain. All of these people, and it was such an important part of keeping that area safe. When you go across 8th Street and turn to the Roseville, people don't realize that was one of the most prestigious addresses in New York some years ago. And I'm glad to see that through the efforts of the county executive and the sheriff, a lot of this prestige and glamour is being restored. This will make this neighborhood such a great place to be in, safe. Kids are getting education. The business area will be energized, and people live here safe and sound. This is what it's all about at the end of the day, bringing people back to work and making sure they're in good hands. So all I can say is, Joe, you do magic all the time in terms of any project that you bring about, and your granddaughter should be very proud of her grandfather. Okay, thank you.
Everybody has to sign your petition. We're out of petitions. Do you have any in your car?
We'll find some good.
Okay.
Like I said to somebody half seriously, they're running for office, and what's the worst that can happen? The guy says I could win.
Thank you, Assemblyman Tom Giblin. So you took a lot of ripping today, Sheriff. I mean, a lot of people. You were a little bit target. Greg didn't talk about, oh no, Greg did. You started off, Greg. Greg started off. But if you look at it seriously, they run a great department, the Essex County Sheriff's Department. They're in the community. They do a great job in our parks. They do a great job in our courts. They're respected. They're diverse. People look at Essex County and Newark and our policing. I think we're a model around the country on how to deal with the community, safe streets, always communicating, always talking, and it starts from the head and the leadership, and that's our sheriff. Him and his men and women are going to have the benefit of this great facility. Sheriff Armando Fontoura.
Thank you very much, Phil. You know, Phil actually resisted, Joe, the temptation to say that that building that we're leaving is about as old as I am. And I want to compliment Phil for that. But then the guy who I have so much stuff on would go out and attack me. That is a bad, he just made a terrible, terrible mistake. I can tell you that. You know how much stuff I have on you? You know what I have on you. Why would you do something like that? Never screw around with a cop. We know where you live. We know where you used to live. But I tell you, this is indeed a great day, exciting day. Phil Lodger was so excited about this day that every morning I jog by his house at 5:35, 5:36, and sometimes he's actually up. I told little Pebbles see if he wants to join me, but he doesn't come out. This morning he was at 5:35 on top of his television screen with his glasses, and I said to him, "What the hell were you doing?" He said, "I was playing a video game." Because he couldn't sleep. He was so excited about this. Well, we're excited too. And I appreciate all the accolades that people throw our way, but I can tell you that this neighborhood has been suffering for a long time. This neighborhood has been asking for this day, for days like this, for a very long time. And it is indeed the vision of Joe D. and our Freeholder Board that will make this rink come true. And I expect, we fully expect that Alan Dana will continue to hold our feet to the fire. She's been doing that since I was in the Newark Police Department, so I have no problem with that. Jeanette will be hearing from her on a regular basis, and many other folks. But that's okay, because that's what we're here to do. We are here to serve the public. We chose to be public servants. No one put a gun to our heads and say, "Look, we want you to become a cop and go do the right thing." We chose to do this, and we choose to do this. And the accolades that the freeholders throw our way about West Orange and all the other facilities, we have indeed the safest park system in the state of New Jersey by far. By far. And it's not me that does all that. It's not my office up there. It's these folks that you see back here. I am just fortunate enough and lucky enough to be at the head of that agency. You look at the folks under Sheriff Ryan, field operations, this command will be under him, under Sheriff Jones, under Sheriff Padilla, Chief Doe, and all of our officers. They do a fantastic job. It's a labor of love. They show up every day. They treat people with dignity and respect. And working with our partners, our great partners with the City of Newark, we will have the folks that deserve attention in this area will get the proper attention. I guarantee you that this will be one of the safest neighborhoods going forward. We will do everything we can to accomplish that goal. These folks are just a tremendous force that we have, dedicated, they work hard. Joe, we appreciate your efforts, Freeholders' efforts on our behalf. It'll be nice to leave that place there with the water pipes leaking down while they're doing the reports and whatnot. But you know what? They never complain. You know that. This is why you want to reward them, because they never complain. Once in a while they get a little bit upset, the uniform got dirty, but they continue to do their job as if this is what I have to do, and they do it, and they do it well. And I have nothing but praise for them. Anthony Ambrose talked about it, he was here, he understands how valuable we are and how good we are. And and we appreciate all of his good efforts, and Chief Henry and everyone else. We will continue to work with everyone to make sure that we meet our goal, that is to make this one of the safest neighborhoods in the world. And Mr. Construction Steve, we know where you live too. So make sure that you get on it right away. We don't want to tow your car. We don't want to do any of that stuff. So please, get it going. Thanks again, Joe. Thank you for your help. God bless you all.
First of all, this is my granddaughter, Haley. She is my partner, right? Partner forever. He is also the county executive. But first of all, any good leader is as good as his team, and in Essex County, I say this all the time. We have over 3,500 employees for the last 15 years that really made a difference in this county. We could not have done it without them. To Leroy Jones, I don't see him as a chairman, I see him as my friend, former assemblyman, former freeholder. He's been very helpful, very supportive, and we couldn't have done it without you, Leroy. Thank you. To our freeholders, everything we do has to be approved by the freeholders. You can have all the vision you want, if they don't get onto it, it's never going to happen. So to Brittany, the president, to Gil, and to all the freeholders, thank you very much. In the West Ward here, the people of the West Ward got great elected officials. Senator Rice, who lives here, does a great job. He's been very supportive. This young guy here, Joe McCullen, I think this is your second term, Joe? First term. He is involved every bit of the way. You call him, he's always there for you. Joe, thank you. And to my friend, my brother for 40 years, Rufus Johnson. So, you know, we talked about the building on Clifton Avenue. Greg, you're making everybody think 115's a mess. The only problem we had in the area was in the police side. That's been there for a while. Not where Dan Savanti is. And the thing is, why we moved it up here, because this is where it belongs. First of all, we're building a school there that's $100 million. We have 1,100 students. We're closing down Bloomfield Tech and North 13. Now, the reason those kids went to Bloomfield and went to North Tech was for one reason. Their parents wanted to make sure their children were safe. Right? That was the main reason. The majority of the kids come from Newark, New Jersey. 80% of them. All right? What was there prior to that school going up was United Hospital, which was owned by the county and a doctor. For 20 years, over 20 years, we couldn't get it settled. We finally did. That was a blight on the community. And what's happened is we did not do our jobs as far as settling that quickly as we should have. Because when you have something that's closed down for 20 years, and you want to do any kind of violence, you're going to do it here. So putting that building up here, now I am responsible for the 1,100 kids there. The school will have 24-hour security, that's what I promised to the community. It's to be well secured, the building. And now with this addition, just being there, just seeing the number of cop cars, helping patrol this area, we're going to change this neighborhood. I'm committed to that. I know the sheriff is committed to that. And we're going to do the right thing here. If you go by South 11th Street over there, we've already knocked down about 6-7 houses. We're going to close down that street. We're going to build a brand new athletic facility for the school. We're going to have a synthetic field over there. So the kids, when they're doing gym, it's only inside and outside. We're going to have additional parking there. Wait till you see when we open this. The West Ward, you know, it's going to be a showy thing when we get done with the job. I'll tell you right now. I am here every day. You ask my man Fitz. I am here on weekends. I talk to all the neighbors here because I want to secure them that we're going to do the right thing. We're going to make up for those 20 years that this area's been here. And the people of the West Ward deserve it. Newark, I am. You know, Newark is as far as we want. And this is where I'm going to die. The sheriff, you know, who's been a sheriff for a very, very long time.
Not long enough.
He doesn't look his age. But like him, he's only as good as the men and women that work for the sheriff department. My man Kevin Ryan, 2 years ago, when we were starting to build the school, we came up here and I said to Kevin, I said, what do you think about a sheriff's building right there for the school? And Kevin said, come on, are you serious? I said, yeah, what do you think about that? And it's reality. Anything I say we're gonna do, we're gonna do. Because I am very focused. I got an A personality, everybody knows that. And this is about the kids, and this is about the neighborhood, and we are going to change this neighborhood. We are going to be your partner, Joe, because we can't do one. But also the people of the West Ward have to buy into it. We cannot let those 1,100 students, all right, down. We got to make sure that their families, they want them safe, that they're safe. And I am committed to it, and we're going to make it happen. Thank you all very, very. First of all, Greg Camino, you do the work. Stop being a comedian. And this is the first time we worked with Steve. He looks good. He's not Italian. What are you?
Oh my God.
Well, what are you? So it's the first time I met him. And I told him, I said, listen, you know we do things on time and on budget here. This facility and that facility will be done by the end of January. This facility and that facility will be done by the end of January, or earlier. Right now with the school, I want everybody to know we are 7 weeks ahead of schedule. Anything could happen. They're saying we could have it by December 1st, but we'll see. The deadline date is the end of January. But I want this building the same thing, so when that's up there, we're doing the transition, this is already going to be operating. And we're going to make this first class, because our sheriff's department is the best sheriff's department in the state of New Jersey, and they deserve the best. Thank you very much.
Gonna stay low? All right, I'll go over you.
First of all, pick the dirt up, everybody. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Hey!